Have you ever felt overwhelmed by a whirlwind of decisions, unsure which path to take? Or found yourself tangled in a web of conflicting opinions, unable to distinguish truth from noise? In a world bursting with information, clarity is no longer a luxury, it's a survival skill. This book is your guide to mastering critical thinking, a tool that transforms chaos into opportunity and confusion into confidence. Together, we'll explore how to untangle complex problems, navigate uncertainty, and make decisions that align with your goals and values. Through relatable examples, practical exercises, and a conversational approach, Clarity in Chaos will empower you to approach life's challenges with a sharp, focused mind. Whether you're striving for personal growth, better relationships, or professional success, this journey will help you develop a mindset that thrives on clarity. Let's dive in and uncover the power of thinking clearly in a chaotic world. Chapter 1. The Eye of the Storm. Understanding Chaos and Why Clarity Matters. Imagine standing in the middle of a busy intersection during rush hour. Cars honk, pedestrians rush past, and traffic lights blink in chaotic sequences. At first glance, it's overwhelming, a perfect storm of noise and motion. But when you pause and look closer, you notice patterns. The rhythm of the lights, the flow of traffic, the spaces where you can step forward safely. Suddenly, the chaos doesn't feel so chaotic. This ability to find order in disorder is at the heart of critical thinking. It's not about silencing the noise, but learning to tune in to what truly matters, filtering out distractions to see the bigger picture. Life often feels like that busy intersection. Information bombards us from every direction, decisions demand our attention, and emotions cloud our judgment. In these moments, clarity becomes our anchor. But clarity isn't about having all the answers or controlling every outcome. It's about learning to navigate uncertainty with focus and purpose. Imagine juggling multiple responsibilities at work while trying to plan a personal event, all while managing your household. Critical thinking provides a roadmap through such demanding times, helping you discern what requires immediate attention and what can wait. By finding clarity, you create space to act thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Clarity begins with understanding chaos, not avoiding it. Chaos in many ways is a natural part of life. It can be triggered by a new challenge at work, a disagreement in a relationship, or even something as simple as choosing between two important priorities. For example, consider Sarah, a marketing manager faced with conflicting advice from her team about launching a new campaign. Some argue for bold, experimental ideas, while others advocate sticking to proven strategies. The noise of competing opinions leaves her stuck, afraid to make the wrong choice. Without clarity, Sarah risks stagnation, or worse, a rushed decision she regrets later. However, embracing the chaos as part of the process allows Sarah to explore a wider range of possibilities, making her ultimate decision more informed and confident. In such situations, critical thinking acts as a compass. It doesn't magically erase the chaos, but it helps you step back, assess the landscape, and determine the best way forward. Sarah, for instance, might begin by clarifying her goal. Is the priority to attract new customers or to strengthen relationships with existing ones? Once her focus sharpens, the overwhelming noise begins to fade. She can evaluate each idea not as right or wrong, but in terms of how well it aligns with her objective. Similarly, anyone facing a challenging decision can use this approach. Break down the problem, identify your priorities, and filter out unnecessary distractions. This deliberate process transforms uncertainty into a manageable puzzle. At its core, clarity is about making sense of complexity. It's like organizing a cluttered closet, not by throwing everything out, but by grouping items in a way that makes them accessible. This process requires effort, but the reward is transformative. When we approach problems with a clear mind, we feel empowered to act rather than paralyzed by indecision. Think of how satisfying it feels when a complex spreadsheet at work is simplified into clear, actionable data. The same principle applies to decision-making in life. Clarity cuts through the noise and makes progress possible. Let's take another example, this time closer to home. Imagine you're planning a family vacation. Everyone has different opinions. Your partner wants a quiet retreat, your kids want a theme park adventure, and you're longing for a cultural experience. At first, it seems impossible to please everyone. But clarity begins when you ask the right questions. What's the main purpose of this trip? To relax, bond, or explore something new? By defining the purpose, you can create a plan that balances everyone's desires while staying true to the trip's core goal. This doesn't mean every choice will be perfect, but having a guiding purpose prevents overwhelm and ensures that decisions are made with intention. Clarity also requires us to manage the emotions that chaos stirs up: fear, frustration, and even excitement. These emotions, while natural, can cloud our thinking if left unchecked. Returning to Sarah's example, she might feel pressure to please her team or fear of making a mistake. Recognizing these emotions is the first step toward clarity. Instead of letting them drive her decision, she can acknowledge their presence and refocus on the bigger picture. Techniques like deep breathing, journaling, or even taking a short walk can help create the mental space needed to regain clarity. The good news is that clarity is a skill anyone can develop. It starts with small steps: pausing to reflect before reacting, asking purposeful questions, and breaking problems into manageable parts. Over time, these habits create a mindset that thrives on clarity, even in the face of life's messiest moments. For instance, keeping a decision journal can be an excellent way to track your thought processes and learn from past experiences. With practice, the chaos around you becomes less daunting, and clarity becomes not just a skill, but a way of life. To begin your journey, here's a simple exercise. Think of a current situation in your life that feels chaotic or overwhelming. Write down everything about it: what's happening, how you feel, and what decisions need to be made. Then, ask yourself, what is the one thing I need to focus on most right now? Highlight that focus point and let it guide your next steps. This practice of identifying and prioritizing can be your first step toward mastering clarity in chaos. The intersection of life will always have its rush hour moments, but with the tools you'll learn in this book, you can move through them with confidence. Clarity isn't about controlling the storm. It's about finding your calm center and charting a deliberate path forward. The journey starts here. Chapter 2: Breaking the Fog. Recognizing Biases and Assumptions. Have you ever made a decision and later realized it was influenced by an assumption you didn't even know you had? It's like walking through a foggy path. You think you're heading the right way, but hidden obstacles can steer you off course. Biases and assumptions are the mental fog that clouds our thinking, often without us realizing they're there. Imagine trying to navigate an unfamiliar city without a map. Your instincts might guide you part of the way, but they can also lead you in circles. The good news is, once you learn to recognize these mental shortcuts, you can clear the fog and see your path more clearly. Biases and assumptions are shortcuts our minds use to process information quickly. While these shortcuts are helpful in certain situations, like recognizing familiar faces or making routine choices, they can also lead us astray when we're dealing with complex or unfamiliar problems. For example, imagine Alex, a team leader interviewing candidates for a new role. Without realizing it, Alex feels drawn to candidates who share his alma mater, assuming they'll share his values and work ethic. This assumption, while subtle, might cause Alex to overlook equally qualified candidates with diverse perspectives, ultimately limiting the team's potential. By stepping back and questioning his instinct, Alex could widen his view and build a stronger, more diverse team. We all carry biases because our experiences shape the way we see the world. They're not inherently bad, but they do need to be examined. Recognizing biases begins with awareness, acknowledging that our thoughts and decisions are influenced by past experiences, societal norms, and personal preferences. Take Maria, a college student who hesitates to join a coding class because she assumes it's too hard and not for someone like her. This assumption isn't based on fact, but on a bias she's absorbed from stereotypes about tech careers. By questioning this belief, Maria can open herself to new opportunities and discover her true potential. Now imagine how many other areas of her life this mindset shift could affect. What new paths could you uncover if you questioned your own hidden biases? Assumptions often hide in plain sight, disguised as just the way things are. For example, many people assume that success requires sacrificing personal happiness. This belief might lead them to overwork themselves, ignoring other aspects of their lives. But when we challenge these assumptions, we often find they're based on outdated ideas or incomplete information. Imagine what might change if you replace the assumption, "Success means stress," with "Success means balance and purpose." That simple shift could transform the way you approach your goals. Questioning assumptions doesn't just improve your decision-making, it reshapes the way you live, allowing you to align your actions with your values. So how do we start breaking the fog? The first step is to slow down and question our automatic reactions. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, why do I think this is the right choice? What assumptions am I making? These questions create a pause, a moment to reflect before acting. For example, Sarah, the marketing manager from the previous chapter, might ask herself why she feels hesitant about the bold campaign ideas her team suggests. Is it because she truly believes they won't work? Or is she assuming they're too risky based on past experiences? This reflection helps her separate valid concerns from unfounded fears. Practicing this pause regularly can lead to a more thoughtful and deliberate approach in every area of life. Another powerful way to uncover biases is to seek perspectives that challenge your own. Surrounding yourself with diverse viewpoints forces you to reconsider your assumptions and see the world through different lenses. For instance, if Alex, the team leader, invites his colleagues to help evaluate candidates, their input might highlight qualities he overlooked. Similarly, if Maria talks to students already thriving in the coding class, their experiences could inspire her to give it a try. The more we expose ourselves to different experiences and opinions, the more we expand our understanding and challenge the limits of our thinking. Breaking the fog also involves self-compassion. Recognizing your biases and assumptions isn't about feeling guilty or ashamed. It's about growing. We all have blind spots, and learning to address them is a lifelong process. What matters is your willingness to reflect, adapt, and keep moving forward. Think of it as a journey rather than a destination. Each step you take toward understanding yourself and others brings you closer to clarity. Acknowledging your imperfections isn't a weakness, it's a strength that fosters continuous learning and self-improvement. Let's bring this idea into a real-world context. Imagine you're planning to buy a car. You've always believed that foreign brands are more reliable than domestic ones. But is that belief based on current data, or is it an outdated assumption? By doing some research, talking to owners of various brands, and test driving different models, you might discover that your initial bias was limiting your options. This doesn't mean you were wrong to have that belief. It simply means you've grown by questioning it. Now think about applying this same principle to other aspects of life. From career decisions to personal relationships, challenging assumptions can lead to surprising and rewarding outcomes. Recognizing and addressing biases is not a one-time task. It's a practice that evolves with you. The next time you face a decision, big or small, take a moment to ask yourself, what beliefs or experiences might be shaping your choice? Write down your assumptions and consider alternative possibilities. Over time, you'll find that this habit not only sharpens your decision-making but also deepens your understanding of the world around you. When the fog lifts, what you'll see is a clearer, more confident path forward. To put this chapter into practice, try this exercise. Think of a decision or situation in your life where you feel stuck or unsure. Write down your initial thoughts or feelings about it. Then ask yourself, what assumptions am I making? Are these based on facts or feelings? What new information or perspectives could help me think more clearly? Reflect on your answers and see if they shift the way you approach the situation. Clearing the fog of biases and assumptions takes effort, but it's a skill that grows stronger with practice. As you continue on this journey, you'll find yourself making decisions with greater confidence and clarity. And with every foggy path you navigate, you'll sharpen your ability to think critically and see the world as it truly is. Chapter 3. Finding the North Star. Setting clear goals and intentions. Have you ever tried navigating a dark forest without a map or compass? The uncertainty of which path to take can be overwhelming, leaving you hesitant to move forward. Now imagine having a bright star to guide you, a constant point that leads you toward your destination. In life, clear goals and intentions act as that guiding star. They provide direction in the midst of uncertainty, helping you make decisions with confidence and purpose. Whether you're charting your career, managing relationships, or pursuing personal growth, having a clear focus simplifies the journey, turning confusion into purposeful action. Clarity begins with understanding what you want and why you want it. Goals and intentions are often spoken about together, but they serve slightly different purposes. Goals are specific outcomes you want to achieve, such as landing a new job, completing a project, or running a marathon. Intentions, on the other hand, are about the broader values and principles guiding your actions, such as growth, connection, or resilience. While goals answer the question, "What do I want to accomplish?" intentions ask, "Why is this important to me?" Understanding both allows you to ensure that your actions are not just productive but meaningful. Consider Emma, a graphic designer who feels stuck in her current job. She sets a goal to find a new position at a company that values creativity. But as she begins applying for roles, she realizes she's drawn to positions that emphasize teamwork and collaboration. Her intention to connect with others in meaningful ways helps her refine her goal, ensuring it aligns with her deeper values. This connection between goals and intentions creates clarity, making it easier to evaluate opportunities and avoid distractions. Emma's example highlights how intentions act as a compass, helping you navigate choices that feel aligned with your authentic self. Without a clear goal or intention, it's easy to drift. Imagine Jack, a college student unsure of what he wants to do after graduation. He applies to jobs in several fields, feeling frustrated when nothing seems to excite him. One day, during a conversation with a mentor, Jack realizes his hesitation comes from a deeper intention to find work that aligns with his passion for helping others. Armed with this clarity, he starts exploring roles in nonprofit organizations and social work, eventually landing a position that feels both fulfilling and purposeful. Jack's shift shows how a deeper understanding of your intentions can turn uncertainty into motivation, sparking meaningful progress. Setting clear goals requires specificity. A vague goal like, "I want to be healthier," is difficult to act on because it lacks focus. In contrast, a specific goal like, "I want to exercise for 30 minutes 3 times a week," gives you a concrete target. The more precise your goal, the easier it is to break it down into actionable steps. For example, you could schedule workouts on your calendar, track your progress, or find a workout buddy to keep you accountable. Specificity transforms abstract ideas into practical, achievable actions. Intentions, meanwhile, require self-awareness. Reflecting on what matters most to you can uncover intentions that may not be immediately obvious. For example, if you're drawn to learning a new language, your intention might be to expand your world and connect with others. This deeper understanding can sustain your motivation when challenges arise. If you struggle to stay consistent, reminding yourself of the why behind your goal can reignite your passion and help you push through setbacks. Intentions keep you grounded, ensuring your efforts are meaningful even when progress feels slow. Let's explore how goals and intentions work together in real life. Imagine Sarah, the marketing manager from earlier chapters, facing pressure to deliver a successful campaign. Her goal is clear: increase sales by 20% in the next quarter. But her intention, fostering trust and authenticity with customers, guides how she approaches this goal. Instead of relying solely on flashy promotions, she focuses on creating meaningful content that resonates with her audience. This alignment between her goal and intention not only achieves the desired result, but also strengthens her team's sense of purpose. By staying true to her intention, Sarah ensures her work contributes to long-term success, not just short-term gains. One of the most powerful aspects of setting goals and intentions is their ability to bring focus to your efforts. Life is full of competing demands, and without clear priorities, it's easy to feel scattered. Setting your North Star helps you channel your energy toward what truly matters, making it easier to say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that align with your vision. For instance, if your intention is to build deeper relationships, you might prioritize quality time with loved ones over additional work commitments, even when it's tempting to take on more. To begin setting your own North Star, Take some time to reflect on the following questions. What is one specific goal I want to achieve in the next 6 months? Why is this goal important to me? How does it align with my values and intentions? Write your answers down and revisit them regularly to keep your focus sharp. Consider creating a vision board or a journal to track your progress and celebrate milestones along the way. These small habits can reinforce your commitment, turning your aspirations into achievable realities. By aligning goals with intentions, you create a powerful combination that drives both success and fulfillment. Like a bright star guiding you through the darkness, this alignment offers clarity, confidence, and purpose, ensuring you stay on course even when challenges arise. As you move forward, remember that the journey itself is just as important as the destination, and the clarity you gain along the way is a reward in its own right. Here's a practical exercise to deepen your understanding of this chapter. Think of a recent decision you made, big or small. Reflect on whether that decision was guided by a specific goal or a broader intention. If you didn't have either, consider how having clarity might have influenced your choice. Now identify one area of your life where you feel uncertain or stuck. What goal could you set to bring direction to this area? What intention could anchor you as you work toward that goal? By defining your North Star, your goals and intentions, you create a foundation for clear, purposeful action. Each step you take becomes part of a larger journey, guided by what truly matters to you. With this clarity, even the most challenging paths become navigable, and each decision becomes a step closer to the life you envision. Chapter 4: Unpacking the Puzzle. Analyzing information with purpose. Have you ever tried putting together a jigsaw puzzle without looking at the picture on the box? You'd probably start randomly, guessing where each piece might fit. It's frustrating, isn't it? You're left guessing how the pieces connect, and progress feels slow. Now imagine how much easier it becomes when you take a moment to study the box. Suddenly, you have a reference point. Life often throws us puzzles in the form of decisions, challenges, and opportunities. The key to solving them lies in how well we can analyze the information in front of us. When we approach problems with purpose and method, we start to see how the pieces connect, transforming confusion into clarity. Analysis is like turning the scattered pieces of life's puzzles into an organized picture. Analyzing information isn't just about gathering data, it's about making sense of it. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information from countless sources: news headlines, social media, conversations, and personal experiences. Without a clear approach, this flood of input can overwhelm us, leading to poor decisions or inaction. But when we develop the ability to analyze effectively, we become skilled at distinguishing what matters from what doesn't. For instance, consider how often we react to attention-grabbing headlines without verifying their context or accuracy. Developing analytical skills helps us cut through the noise and focus on the facts that matter most. Let's take the example of Mark, a small business owner trying to decide whether to invest in an online advertising campaign. His team presents a range of data: trends in customer behavior, the performance of past campaigns, and the budget impact of the investment. At first, the information feels like a pile of disconnected puzzle pieces. But Mark begins by focusing on his purpose, attracting more customers to his business. With this purpose in mind, he identifies which data points are most relevant, which platforms his target audience uses most, and which advertising methods have yielded the best return on investment. By narrowing his focus, Mark turns a daunting pile of information into a clear path forward. His method shows how aligning your analysis with a clear objective makes decision-making more practical and focused. The key to effective analysis lies in asking purposeful questions. Instead of treating all information as equally important, purposeful analysis helps you prioritize. For instance, when Sarah, the marketing manager we followed, evaluates campaign ideas, she might ask, "How does this idea align with our goal? What are the risks and potential benefits? How can we measure success?" These questions act as a guide, helping her break down complex information into actionable insights. Purposeful questions not only narrow the focus, but also reveal gaps in your understanding, allowing you to seek additional information where necessary. Another important aspect of analysis is recognizing patterns. patterns reveal connections and trends that might not be obvious at first glance. For example, imagine Anna, a high school teacher struggling with student engagement. By reviewing class participation data and her students' feedback, she notices a pattern. Participation drops significantly during group activities. This insight prompts her to adjust her teaching methods, introducing new group dynamics and clearer roles for students. The result? Engagement improves because she addressed the underlying issue. Recognizing patterns requires patience and observation, but the insights gained can lead to meaningful, long-term solutions. Breaking problems into smaller parts is another powerful tool for analysis. When faced with a complex situation, trying to tackle everything at once can feel overwhelming. Instead, focus on smaller components. Imagine you're planning a wedding. Instead of worrying about the entire event, you might break it into categories like venue, catering, guest list, and decorations. Analyzing each element separately makes the process more manageable, and you're less likely to miss important details. This method not only simplifies decision-making, but also builds momentum, as solving smaller pieces creates a sense of progress. One challenge in analysis is overcoming the temptation to jump to conclusions. Our brains are wired to seek quick answers, but hasty conclusions often lead to errors. Take James, for example, a college student choosing between two internships. One offers a higher salary, while the other provides hands-on experience in his dream field. At first, James is tempted to choose the higher-paying option. But when he takes the time to analyze the long-term benefits of each opportunity, he realizes that the experience in his dream field will likely lead to greater career satisfaction and growth. By delaying his decision to analyze more thoroughly, James ensures his choice aligns with his long-term goals. To analyze information effectively, you also need to stay open-minded. Sometimes, the answers we uncover challenge our initial assumptions. This willingness to adapt is a hallmark of strong critical thinkers. For instance, Mark, the business owner, initially assumed that social media would be the best platform for his campaign. But through analysis, he discovered that his target audience was more responsive to email marketing. By staying open to new insights, he made a more informed and successful choice. Keeping an open mind allows us to embrace unexpected solutions that we might otherwise overlook. Developing strong analytical skills is like sharpening a tool. You may not need it every day, but when you do, it makes the task much easier. Start by practicing on small, everyday decisions. Choosing the best route for your commute, comparing prices while shopping, or organizing your to-do list. Over time, these small exercises will build your confidence, making it easier to tackle larger, more complex challenges. Like mastering a puzzle, the satisfaction of seeing the bigger picture makes the effort worthwhile. Now let's turn this into practice. Think of a situation in your life where you feel stuck or uncertain, perhaps a decision about your career, a personal relationship, or a financial choice. Start by defining your purpose. Why is this situation important to you? Then, gather the information available, asking yourself which pieces are most relevant. Break the problem into smaller parts, and look for patterns or connections you might have missed. Finally, reflect on your conclusions. Do they align with your purpose, and do they challenge any assumptions you might be holding? Here's an exercise to help you build this skill. Choose one specific decision or challenge you're currently facing. Write down all the information you have about it. Then ask yourself, what is the purpose of solving this? What questions will help me prioritize the information? What patterns or insights can I identify? Use your answers to guide your next steps, and revisit this exercise whenever you encounter a new puzzle in life. The ability to analyze information with purpose is like having a flashlight in a dark room. It helps you see clearly, focus on what matters, and navigate even the most complicated puzzles with confidence. As you continue building this skill, you'll find that the once daunting pieces of life's challenges start to come together, revealing a bigger, brighter picture. Chapter 5: Asking the Right Questions, the Key to Unlocking Insight. Have you ever noticed how a single question can change the way you see a problem? Asking why or what if can turn confusion into curiosity and spark ideas you hadn't considered. Questions are powerful tools for navigating life's challenges. They focus your attention, uncover hidden details, and guide you toward deeper understanding. In this chapter, we'll explore how asking the right questions can unlock insights that bring clarity and confidence to your decision-making. Questions are at the heart of critical thinking because they help us challenge assumptions, explore possibilities, and dig beneath the surface. Without asking questions, we risk staying stuck in patterns of shallow thinking. For example, imagine Lucy, a project manager struggling to meet a tight deadline. At first, she assumes the issue is a lack of team effort. But when she asks herself, what's really causing the delay, she discovers that unclear communication and overlapping tasks are the root of the problem. By identifying the real issue, she's able to implement changes that improve her team's workflow. The right questions are purposeful and open-ended. They avoid simple yes or no answers, encouraging exploration and creativity instead. For instance, when Mark, the small business owner from earlier chapters, considers launching a new product, he might ask, what do my customers need that they aren't currently getting? Or, what potential risks could this product face in the market? These questions open the door to valuable insights, helping him think critically about his decision. Sometimes, the best questions come from reframing the problem. Instead of asking, why can't I figure this out? Try asking, what would help me see this more clearly? This shift turns frustration into a learning opportunity. Consider Emma, the graphic designer from Chapter 3. When she struggles to decide between two job offers, she reframes her question from, which one is better, to which role aligns more closely with my long-term goals. This subtle change in focus helps her prioritize what truly matters. Asking the right questions also helps in breaking down complex issues. Let's look at an example. Anna, the high school teacher we met earlier, notices that some of her students are disengaged. Instead of assuming the issue is a lack of interest, she starts asking specific questions. What topics do they respond to most enthusiastically? Are they struggling with the material? How can I make lessons more interactive? Each question leads her closer to solutions that re-engage her students. Curiosity plays a central role in effective questioning. When you approach challenges with a sense of curiosity, you're more likely to ask insightful questions that spark growth and discovery. For example, James, the college student deciding between internships, asks himself, what skills will I gain from each role? Which experience will prepare me better for the future I want? These questions, fueled by curiosity, help him make a decision that aligns with his values and aspirations. It's also important to ask questions of others, not just yourself. Engaging in thoughtful dialogue can reveal perspectives and insights you might not have considered. Imagine Sarah, the marketing manager, collaborating with her team on a new campaign. Instead of dictating a plan, she asks, what ideas do you think will resonate most with our audience? How can we measure success effectively? By involving her team in the questioning process, she not only gains valuable input, but also strengthens collaboration and trust. One common barrier to asking the right questions is fear. Fear of appearing ignorant, fear of challenging the status quo, or fear of facing uncomfortable truths. Overcoming this fear starts with recognizing that questions are tools for growth, not signs of weakness. Embrace the mindset that every question you ask brings you closer to understanding and clarity. Here's a practical way to apply this principle to your life. Think about a challenge or decision you're currently facing. Write down 3 open-ended questions that could help you explore the situation further. For example, if you're deciding whether to take on a new project at work, you might ask, what skills will I develop through this project? How will this opportunity align with my long-term goals? What support do I need to succeed? Reflect on your answers and consider how they shape your perspective. To deepen this practice, try engaging someone you trust in a conversation about your challenge. Share your questions with them and invite their input. Often, the act of discussing your thoughts with someone else can lead to new insights and ideas. As you develop the habit of asking the right questions, you'll find yourself approaching problems with greater clarity and confidence. Questions are more than tools. They're bridges that connect where you are to where you want to be. The more purposeful your questions, the clearer your path will become. Chapter 6. The Calm Within. Staying Grounded in Emotional Turbulence. Imagine a ship navigating a stormy sea. Waves crash, the wind howls, and chaos threatens to throw everything off course. Now imagine the captain at the helm, steady and focused, guiding the ship safely to calmer waters. In life, our emotions can feel like those stormy seas, powerful and unpredictable. Learning to stay grounded during emotional turbulence is like being that captain. It's not about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them while maintaining clarity and control. Like a skilled captain, staying grounded helps you make thoughtful decisions even when the waters are rough. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience. They influence how we think, act, and make decisions, often in profound ways. But when emotions run high, they can cloud our judgment, making it harder to see the full picture. Consider David, a young entrepreneur preparing to pitch his business idea to investors. He's nervous about the meeting, and his anxiety starts to take over. Instead of focusing on his presentation, he fixates on the fear of rejection. This emotional turbulence threatens to derail his confidence and preparation. Understanding how emotions impact us is the first step toward managing them effectively. Staying grounded doesn't mean eliminating emotions. It means managing them effectively. One powerful way to do this is by practicing emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is the ability to recognize and name your feelings without letting them overwhelm you. For example, when David acknowledges his nervousness, he gains the power to address it. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," he reframes his thoughts. "I feel nervous because I care about this opportunity. That's a sign of how much it matters to me." This shift helps him refocus on what he can control, his preparation and delivery. Emotional awareness turns feelings from barriers into useful signals that guide thoughtful action. Another key to staying grounded is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being fully present in the moment without judgment. It helps you create a mental pause, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. For example, Anna, the high school teacher, finds herself frustrated when her students seem disengaged. Instead of reacting in anger, she takes a deep breath and reflects. What's happening here? What can I do to re-engage them? This moment of mindfulness prevents her from letting frustration escalate and helps her approach the situation constructively. Developing a mindfulness routine, such as setting aside 5 minutes daily for deep breathing or reflection, can build this skill over time. Perspective also plays a crucial role in grounding yourself during emotional storms. When emotions are intense, they can make problems seem bigger than they are. Imagine Emma, the graphic designer, facing criticism from a client. At first, she feels defensive and doubts her abilities. But when she steps back, she realizes the critique isn't personal. It's an opportunity to refine her work. By shifting her perspective, Emma transforms a challenging moment into a chance to grow. Perspective allows you to see the broader context, reminding you that difficulties are often temporary and solvable. One practical way to gain perspective is to ask yourself, how will I view this situation a week, a month, or a year from now? Often, this question helps put emotions into context, reminding you that most challenges are temporary and manageable. You can also try writing down the problem as if you were advising a friend. This exercise helps you detach from the emotional intensity and focus on constructive solutions. Another strategy for staying grounded is focusing on what you can control. In moments of emotional turbulence, it's easy to feel powerless, but there's always something within your control, even if it's just your attitude or response. For example, Sarah, the marketing manager, feels overwhelmed by conflicting deadlines. Instead of dwelling on what she can't change, she prioritizes her tasks and communicates openly with her team about expectations. By focusing on actionable steps, she regains a sense of control and reduces her stress. Making a list of what I can control and what I can't control can provide clarity and help you direct your energy more effectively. Support from others can also anchor you during emotional storms. Sharing your feelings with someone you trust, whether it's a friend, colleague, or mentor, can provide reassurance and perspective. For instance, when Mark, the small business owner, feels discouraged after a failed product launch, he confides in a fellow entrepreneur. Their conversation reminds him that setbacks are part of the journey and offers insights for his next steps. Reaching out for support not only eases emotional burden, but also opens the door to new ideas and solutions you may not have considered. To apply these principles, take a moment to reflect on a recent situation where emotions felt overwhelming. Ask yourself, what emotions did I experience? How did they affect my thoughts and actions? What could I have done to stay more grounded? Write down your reflections and use them as a guide for future challenges. You might also consider creating a personal grounding toolkit with strategies that work best for you, such as journaling, talking to a trusted person, or practicing mindfulness. Staying grounded during emotional turbulence doesn't mean avoiding the storm. It means learning to navigate it with steadiness and intention. By cultivating emotional awareness, mindfulness, perspective, and a focus on what you can control, you can steer through life's challenges with greater clarity and confidence. Just like the captain of a ship, you hold the power to guide yourself to calmer waters, no matter how fierce the storm may seem. Here's a practical exercise to build emotional resilience. The next time you face a situation that stirs strong emotions, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Name the emotion you're feeling, whether it's frustration, fear, or excitement, and remind yourself that it's a temporary state. Then, ask yourself, what can I control right now? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my goals and values? Practice this exercise regularly, and you'll find it easier to navigate emotional turbulence with clarity and confidence. Life storms are inevitable, but they don't have to dictate your journey. By staying grounded, you can steer your ship with purpose, even in the roughest seas. Emotions will rise and fall like waves, but with practice, you'll learn to ride them rather than be swept away. As you continue developing this skill, you'll discover a calm within that empowers you to think clearly and act decisively, no matter what challenges come your way. Chapter 7: Perspective Matters. Seeing the bigger picture. Have you ever focused so intently on a single detail that you lost sight of the whole picture? It's like examining one piece of a puzzle and feeling stuck because it doesn't make sense on its own. Stepping back to view the bigger picture often reveals connections and solutions that weren't obvious before. In life, the ability to shift perspective is a powerful skill that allows you to think more clearly, make better decisions, and approach challenges with a fresh sense of possibility. Perspective shapes how we interpret events and respond to them. Often, when we're too close to a situation, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or frustrated. Consider Jake, a college graduate struggling to find a job. He feels discouraged after several rejections and starts to believe he'll never succeed. But when a mentor encourages him to reflect on his broader goals, Jake realizes that each rejection is teaching him something valuable. With this new perspective, he adjusts his approach, strengthens his applications, and eventually lands a position that aligns with his ambitions. Seeing the bigger picture isn't about ignoring challenges, it's about viewing them in context. Imagine Maria, a single mother juggling work, parenting, and school. She feels stretched thin and questions whether her efforts will ever pay off. But when she steps back and considers her long-term goals, providing a better future for her children and pursuing her own dreams, she finds renewed motivation. Her immediate struggles become part of a larger, meaningful journey. Shifting perspective also helps us understand the viewpoints of others, which is crucial for effective communication and problem-solving. For example, Sarah, the marketing manager, faces conflict within her team over how to allocate resources for a project. Initially, she feels frustrated by their disagreements, but when she takes the time to listen and see the situation through their eyes, she discovers that each team member's concerns stem from a genuine desire to succeed. By acknowledging their perspectives, Sarah fosters collaboration and finds a solution that balances their priorities. One way to broaden your perspective is by asking questions that challenge your assumptions. For example, instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift helps transform setbacks into opportunities for growth. Take Anna, the high school teacher, who faces resistance from her students when introducing a new teaching method. Initially, she feels disheartened, but when she asks herself, "How can I adapt this approach to better meet their needs?" she gains new insights that lead to a more engaging lesson plan. Perspective is also about recognizing the interconnectedness of events. Sometimes, what seems like a failure in the moment turns out to be a stepping stone toward success. Mark, the small business owner, reflects on a past decision to close an underperforming branch of his company. At the time, it felt like a setback. But looking back, he realizes that the closure freed up resources to invest in his most successful venture, which is now thriving. A broader perspective can also help you manage stress and anxiety. When challenges feel overwhelming, zooming out allows you to see that most problems are temporary and solvable. For example, Emma, the graphic designer, worries about an upcoming deadline for a difficult client. She's consumed by the stress of getting everything perfect. But when she steps back and asks herself, will this matter a year from now? She gains clarity. The project is important, but it doesn't define her entire career. This realization helps her approach the task with a calmer, more focused mindset. To practice seeing the bigger picture, try this exercise. Think about a recent situation that felt overwhelming or frustrating. Write down the details, including how you felt in the moment. Then take a step back and consider the broader context. Ask yourself, what long-term goals or values does this situation connect to? What might I learn from it? How could this challenge shape my growth? Reflect on how your perspective shifts when you view the situation through this wider lens. Another way to broaden your perspective is by seeking input from others. Talking to people who have different experiences or viewpoints can help you see aspects of a situation you might have missed. For instance, when Jake, the recent graduate, discusses his job search struggles with a friend in a different industry, he gains fresh ideas for networking and tailoring his resume. These insights help him approach his search more effectively. Perspective matters because it transforms the way we interpret and navigate life. By stepping back to see the bigger picture, you can turn obstacles into opportunities, build stronger relationships, and stay connected to your purpose. The more you practice this skill, the more resilient and resourceful you'll become, ready to tackle any challenge with clarity and confidence. Chapter 8. Connecting the Dots. Synthesizing information for clearer solutions. Have you ever looked at a seemingly random set of details and suddenly noticed how they fit together? Like connecting the dots in a puzzle, you begin to see a clear picture emerge. This ability to synthesize information, pulling together different pieces to form a coherent whole, is an essential part of critical thinking. It allows us to transform scattered data into meaningful insights and find solutions that may not have been obvious at first glance. Synthesizing information is different from merely gathering facts. While collecting information is about identifying individual pieces, synthesis is the art of weaving those pieces into a unified understanding. Imagine Sarah, the marketing manager, preparing a presentation on customer engagement trends. Her team provides her with various data points, survey results, website analytics, and social media feedback. At first, the information feels disconnected, like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. But as Sarah examines the data, she notices a pattern. Customers respond most positively to personalized content. This realization shapes her strategy, enabling her to present a focused and actionable plan. A key aspect of synthesis is identifying relationships between ideas. Sometimes connections aren't immediately obvious because they cross different contexts or perspectives. Take David, an entrepreneur developing a new product. He studies customer preferences, competitor strategies, and emerging industry trends. By connecting insights from these different areas, he identifies a unique market opportunity that none of his competitors have addressed. This ability to integrate diverse information gives David a competitive edge. One of the challenges of synthesizing information is managing complexity. When faced with too many details, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or unsure where to begin. To overcome this, it's helpful to start with a clear purpose. For instance, Anna, the high school teacher, is planning a project to boost student engagement. She gathers input from her colleagues, students, and education research. Instead of getting lost in the details, she focuses on her goal, designing a project that inspires creativity and collaboration. This focus helps her prioritize the most relevant ideas and disregard distractions. Patterns play a central role in synthesis because they reveal underlying themes and relationships. Let's consider Emma, the graphic designer, who is brainstorming ideas for a new campaign. She reviews feedback from past projects, noting that audiences consistently respond well to storytelling. This pattern inspires her to create a campaign that weaves narratives into its design, resulting in a fresh and compelling approach. Synthesis also requires flexibility. Sometimes, new information challenges our initial conclusions, prompting us to revisit and refine our understanding. For example, Mark, the small business owner, assumes his customers prefer traditional advertising methods. But when he integrates customer feedback with recent sales data, he discovers that digital campaigns are driving the most growth. Adjusting his strategy to reflect this insight leads to better results. Collaboration can enhance synthesis by introducing fresh perspectives. When Sarah, the marketing manager, involves her team in brainstorming, each member brings unique insights. One person highlights emerging social media trends, while another emphasizes the importance of storytelling. By synthesizing these ideas, Sarah creates a campaign that leverages both strengths. This collaborative approach demonstrates how combining diverse viewpoints can produce innovative solutions. To practice synthesis, it's important to develop a habit of looking for connections and asking integrative questions. For instance, when facing a challenge, you might ask, how do these pieces of information relate to each other? What themes or patterns do I notice? How can I combine these ideas into a clear solution? These questions guide your thinking, helping you move from isolated details to a cohesive understanding. Here's an exercise to help you develop this skill. Think about a decision or problem you're currently working on. Write down all the information you've gathered so far, no matter how unrelated it seems. Then step back and look for connections. Ask yourself, what patterns or themes emerge? How do these pieces fit together? What story does this information tell me? Use these insights to craft a plan or solution that feels both clear and actionable. Synthesis is a skill that grows stronger with practice. The more you connect the dots, the easier it becomes to see the bigger picture. By weaving together diverse pieces of information, you unlock a deeper understanding of challenges and discover solutions that might otherwise remain hidden. This ability to synthesize empowers you to approach life with clarity, creativity, and confidence. Chapter 9. Acting with Confidence. Making decisions in uncertainty. Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by a decision, unsure which path to take? In moments of uncertainty, the fear of making the wrong choice can feel overwhelming. But indecision often costs us more than a wrong turn ever would. Acting with confidence, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed, is a skill that allows us to move forward, learn from our experiences, and adjust as needed. It's not about knowing the future, it's about trusting your ability to navigate it. Decision-making is inherently uncertain because no choice comes with a guarantee. Yet many of us delay decisions in search of perfect clarity, a search that can lead to missed opportunities. Consider Lily, a recent college graduate weighing two job offers. One is in her hometown with a stable company, while the other involves relocating for a more dynamic, but less predictable role. She feels torn, afraid of regretting her choice. But when Lily focuses on her long-term goals and values, seeking growth and adventure, she confidently chooses the second job, knowing it aligns with what matters most to her. Confidence in decision-making doesn't mean ignoring risks. It means approaching them thoughtfully. Start by gathering as much relevant information as possible within a reasonable time frame. For instance, when Mark, the small business owner, considers expanding his services, he researches market demand, talks to other entrepreneurs, and reviews his finances. While he can't predict every outcome, this preparation gives him a strong foundation to make an informed choice. Another key to acting with confidence is setting clear criteria for your decision. Without criteria, options can feel overwhelming, like trying to choose from a menu with too many dishes. For example, Sarah, the marketing manager, is selecting a vendor for a new campaign. Instead of focusing on superficial features, she defines her priorities: reliability, innovation, and alignment with her team's values. These criteria guide her decision, ensuring it reflects her goals. One of the most effective ways to build decision-making confidence is by reframing failure. Many of us fear making mistakes, but every decision, even those that don't go as planned, offers valuable lessons. Imagine David, an entrepreneur launching a product that doesn't meet his sales expectations. While disappointing, the experience teaches him about his target audience's preferences, which he applies to his next launch. By viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn, David strengthens his ability to make better decisions in the future. When faced with high-stakes decisions, it's helpful to take small, deliberate steps. Instead of trying to resolve everything at once, focus on making incremental progress. Take Emma, the graphic designer, considering a major career shift. Instead of immediately quitting her job, she begins by taking freelance projects in her desired field. This gradual approach allows her to test the waters and build confidence before making a full commitment. It's also important to trust your instincts. While logic and analysis are crucial, your intuition often provides valuable insights based on past experiences and subconscious patterns. For instance, Jake, a project manager, feels uncertain about a candidate during an interview, despite their impressive resume. Trusting his gut, he asks deeper questions, uncovering concerns that confirm his instincts. This blend of logic and intuition helps Jake make a well-rounded decision. To strengthen your confidence in uncertain situations, practice the habit of reflection. After making a decision, take time to evaluate the process and its outcomes. Ask yourself, what worked well? What could I improve next time? This reflection builds self-awareness and reinforces your ability to make thoughtful choices. For example, Anna, the high school teacher, reflects on her approach to selecting teaching strategies. By identifying which methods engaged her students most effectively, she refines her decision-making process for future lessons. Collaboration can also boost confidence, especially when dealing with complex decisions. Seeking input from others, whether colleagues, mentors, or friends, broadens your perspective and helps you spot potential blind spots. For instance, when Sarah faces a challenging decision about reallocating her team's budget, she consults her colleagues. Their diverse viewpoints help her weigh the pros and cons, ultimately strengthening her confidence in the final choice. To apply these principles, think of a decision you've been avoiding or struggling with. Start by clarifying your goals and gathering relevant information. Define 2 or 3 criteria that are most important to you. Then, consider taking a small step toward your choice, such as testing one option or seeking advice from someone you trust. Finally, reflect on what you've learned and use those insights to refine your next steps. Here's an exercise to practice acting with confidence. Identify a decision you need to make this week, big or small. Write down your options and the potential outcomes. Then ask yourself, what matters most to me in this situation? What information do I need to feel prepared? What small step can I take today to move forward? Commit to acting on your choice, knowing that every decision is an opportunity to grow. Confidence in decision-making isn't about eliminating uncertainty. It's about embracing it. By preparing thoughtfully, setting clear priorities, and trusting yourself to adapt, you can face even the most complex choices with clarity and resilience. With practice, each decision becomes a stepping stone toward the life you want to create, no matter what challenges come your way. Chapter 10. Cultivating a Clear Mind. Building a lifelong habit of critical thinking. Imagine planting a garden. At first, it takes effort to prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and water them regularly. But over time, with consistent care, the garden grows, blooming into a source of beauty and nourishment. Developing critical thinking is much the same. It begins with deliberate effort, but as it becomes a habit, it becomes a natural part of how you approach life's challenges, enriching every decision you make. Critical thinking is not a one-time skill. It's a mindset that requires continuous growth and practice. Throughout this book, you've learned how to identify biases, set clear goals, analyze information, ask purposeful questions, manage emotions, and connect the dots to uncover solutions. Now, the challenge is to integrate these skills into your daily life, turning them into habits that guide your thinking. Building a habit of critical thinking starts with self-awareness. Every thought, decision, and reaction offers an opportunity to reflect and refine your approach. Consider Emma, the graphic designer. After a difficult project with a demanding client, she takes a moment to reflect. What worked well? What could I have done differently? This simple habit of reflection helps her grow, turning each experience into a stepping stone for future success. Consistency is key to making critical thinking a habit. Small, regular actions can create a ripple effect, transforming how you think over time. For example, David, the entrepreneur, sets aside 15 minutes each day to evaluate his business decisions. He asks himself questions like, did I consider all relevant information? Did I let emotions influence my choices? This daily practice keeps him focused and sharp, enabling him to navigate challenges with confidence. Another essential aspect of cultivating critical thinking is curiosity. A curious mind is open to exploring new ideas, questioning assumptions, and seeking out diverse perspectives. Imagine Anna, the high school teacher who regularly experiments with new teaching methods. Her curiosity not only keeps her lessons fresh and engaging, but also strengthens her ability to adapt and innovate. Creating an environment that supports critical thinking can also make a significant difference. Surround yourself with people who encourage thoughtful discussions, challenge your ideas, and inspire you to grow. For instance, Sarah, the marketing manager, organizes regular brainstorming sessions with her team. These sessions create a culture of collaboration and innovation where everyone feels empowered to think critically and contribute their insights. Resilience plays a vital role in sustaining critical thinking. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. But when you view challenges as opportunities to learn, you build the resilience to persevere. Take Jake, the recent graduate who faces several job rejections before landing his dream role. Each rejection teaches him something new about his approach, helping him refine his strategy and grow stronger with each attempt. To make critical thinking a lifelong habit, it's helpful to anchor it to your values and goals. When your thinking aligns with what matters most to you, it feels purposeful and rewarding. For example, Mark, the small business owner, consistently evaluates his decisions based on his core value of customer satisfaction. This alignment not only strengthens his critical thinking skills, but also ensures his business remains focused on its mission. Mindfulness can also enhance your ability to think critically. By staying present and aware, you're better able to notice your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions in real time. Imagine Maria, a single mother juggling multiple responsibilities. When faced with a tough decision, she pauses to take a few deep breaths and reflect. What's influencing my thoughts right now? Am I considering all perspectives? This mindfulness helps her make decisions with clarity and intention. Here's a practical exercise to help you integrate critical thinking into your daily life. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to reflect on one decision or situation you faced. Ask yourself, what factors influenced my thinking? Did I approach it with clarity and purpose? What can I learn from this experience? Writing down your reflections can deepen your insights and help you track your progress over time. As you continue practicing critical thinking, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. There's always room to grow, and each challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen your skills. By making critical thinking a daily habit, you'll find that clarity becomes your natural state, empowering you to navigate life's complexities with confidence and grace. Your journey toward mastering critical thinking doesn't end here. It begins. With each step you take, you're cultivating a mindset that transforms confusion into understanding, hesitation into action, and chaos into clarity. This is the power of a clear mind, and it's a gift you can carry with you for a lifetime. Throughout this journey, we've explored the essential skills and mindsets that transform chaos into clarity. From recognizing biases and setting meaningful goals to analyzing information, asking purposeful questions, and making confident decisions, you've gained tools to think critically and navigate life's challenges with intention. By cultivating habits of mindfulness, curiosity, and resilience, you're building a lifelong practice of clarity and growth. Thank you for dedicating your time to this journey. Your commitment to mastering critical thinking is a step toward creating a more focused and purposeful life. If you found value in this content, I encourage you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more insights and tools to support your personal and professional growth. Together, let's keep striving for clarity and success in every aspect of life.